Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and today I'm back at Platinum Health and Fitness in Conception Bay, South Newfoundland, and I'm going to be taking you through a dynamic effort bench press workout. And this is part of the Workout of the Month program that we have over on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle. And basically what it is, it's an upper-lower body split, and we're using some power training exercises to help develop dynamic strength and explosiveness. Now, before I get into the workout, I always like to start off with a thorough warm-up. Now, I do some cardio exercise first just to get the blood flowing, but before I get into the actual weight training, I like to do some exercises for the shoulders. And this is critical because the shoulders are a very easy area to injure, especially if you're doing pressing exercises like the bench press. So what I'm doing here is an arm circle variation where I'm laying flat down, and this position will work the rear delts and the upper back, and this is very often the weak link when it comes to your shoulders. I mean, more often than not, the front delts get overdeveloped compared to the rear delts. And in addition to that, a lot of us are sitting at desks, we're leaning over, we're working on the computer, we're doing things like that. So that causes the upper back to round. And a lot of times what happens is we get a weak upper back because of this. So the exercise that we're doing here is going to help to strengthen that upper back and also improve mobility throughout the shoulder complex. So as you're doing this arm circle variation, what I want you to do is rotate your hands. So at the top, when your hands are overhead, have your palms facing down towards the floor. And then as you bring your arms down, rotate them so that your hands are facing upwards. And this is going to work all those muscles throughout the shoulders and again, warm up the entire shoulder complex. Now for this one, do about 2 sets of 20 repetitions to really warm up those shoulders. And the first exercise of the workout is the bench press. And for this one, I'm doing a unique variation where I'm adding a rubber resistance band to the bench. And the reason I'm doing this is to help match the natural strength curve of the bench press. I mean, generally, you're weaker in the bottom and you're stronger at the top. And the way that the rubber band works is as the band stretches, the tension increases. So by accommodating resistance and adding a band, you match your body's natural strength curve. Now, this is totally optional. It's kind of an advanced technique, and if you don't necessarily have to do this, but if you have access to rubber resistance bands like this, you might want to give it a shot. So what I'm doing here is known as a dynamic effort bench press workout, where I'm going to be doing multiple sets of low reps, trying to lift fast and explosive to generate that explosive power, but I'm going to be stopping those sets short of failure. And this is a technique that I learned back when I was training in powerlifting, and I was following the West Side Barbell training method. I mean, I remember back in the day, I bought all Louis Simmons West Side Barbell VHS tapes, and I studied and watched those things until the tapes literally broke, right? And I'm talking, this is back in the old days. We're not talking DVDs and Blu-ray. We're talking VHS tape, right? This is old school. But I watched those suckers over and over again, and that was the method I followed back in the day when I was training for powerlifting, and it worked really well for me. It helped me to set my personal best bench press of 445 pounds at 220 pounds body weight, so I hit a double body weight bench press by using these strategies. Anyway, back to the workout. What we're going to be doing here in this workout is multiple sets of low reps, like I mentioned before. So I'm going to be doing 8 sets of 3 repetitions, and that's the protocol that they recommend with the basic West Side Barbell training template. And the idea here is you want to keep the rest periods short, less than a minute rest in between each set, and keep that training tempo fast and explosive. So this is a different mindset compared to a typical bodybuilding workout where you typically train the muscle to failure. Instead, we're training the exercise and working on explosive strength. And the next exercise in the workout is another powerlifting move, and this is the floor press lockout. So I have the barbell set up in the power rack, and it's at a height where I only have to press the top quarter range of motion. And the idea here is to build up lockout strength, to build up strength in your tendons and ligaments, and just to condition your body to handle heavier weight than you would normally lift in a full range of motion. Another benefit of the floor press is your legs are fully extended out straight, so there's no leg drive. You're just using all upper body strength with this move. So it's a different variation, and it's a good assistance move to help build up your bench press strength. Now you're going to be able to lift more weight in a partial range of motion than you can in a full range. So start off with your normal max weight that you would handle in a full range of motion bench press, and then build yourself up set by set. And I want you to do 5 reps per set. So again, start with your max normal bench press, do 5 reps, increase the weight, do another 5 reps, increase the weight, do another 5 reps, and build yourself up gradually, set by set, until you get to the point where you're struggling to complete 5 repetitions with good form. And once you get there, then call it quits for the day and focus on improving upon that for your next workout. And after the heavy pressing, we're going to do some face pulls to work the rear delts and upper back. And this is important to train the opposing muscle groups because, like I mentioned before, you want to keep everything in check. I mean, we're doing a lot of heavy pressing work, which is going to work the front head of the deltoids, so we need to balance that out by doing equal volume of work for the rear delts. So with this one right here, this face pull variation, I'm using the same rubber band that I did earlier with the dynamic effort bench press, and I'm using it for face pulls. And the cool thing about using a rubber band for the face pull is you get a really good peak contraction when you pull your arms back, because that's when the band gets really tight, and again, you get the maximum amount of tension in that peak contraction position. Now, another variation that you can do as well is a band pull apart. This is another nice variation that's going to work those rear delts and help to keep things in balance and proportion. For this one, I'm actually using a lighter resistance band because the band pull apart is not a very strong move, but it's a good one to isolate those rear delts. So for this, I just wrap the rubber band around my hands and literally pull the band apart. And you can do different variations. You can do it with your palms facing down. You can do it with your palms facing up. Each variation is going to hit the rear delts a little bit different. So again, you can experiment and do this as part of your workout. And you can even do this in between sets or in between exercises throughout this workout. I mean, you're better off erring on the side of doing more work for the rear delts than not enough. So generally speaking, the more work you do for the rear delts, the better off you're going to be. Now, another killer rear delt exercise that you can do is the reverse pec deck fly. If you have access to this machine at your gym, then I highly recommend incorporating it with your workouts. I mean, you can do this with a bench press / chest workout. You can do it as part of a back workout. You can do it as part of a shoulder workout. Generally speaking, when it comes to the rear delts, the more frequently you hit them, the better off you're going to be. Because again, it's a small muscle group, so a little bit of volume done frequently is better than trying to do a whole crap load of volume all in one workout. Now, for the sake of the video, I am doing a crap load of volume here. I'm actually doing 3 exercises in a row for the rear delts, but when you're doing them in your own workout, you can maybe do 1 or 2 of these exercises and just really focus on isolating those rear delts, but do them frequently. Try and incorporate this with several workouts throughout the week. And continuing to work the back, we're going to do some wide grip pull-ups. Now, this is one of my favorite back exercises, hands down. You show me someone who's good at doing pull-ups, and you're going to show me somebody who has a big, wide, muscular back. Now, this is a hard exercise, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a challenging move because you have to be able to lift your entire body weight. So if you're having trouble with this, I actually put together a video showing some tips on how to do pull-ups for beginners. So I'll have a link to it up there in the card annotation if you want to go check that out for yourself. I'll also have a link to it down in the video description below. So if you can't do proper pull-ups and you need some help, check out that video and it'll give you some insights on how you can get better at doing pull-ups. And to finish off the workout, I'm going to do some kettlebell waiter walks. Kind of a weird name, but when you see the exercise, it's going to make perfect sense. I'm holding that kettlebell high overhead, just like a waiter would if they were carrying a tray of food through the restaurant. And the idea here is this exercise is going to help to develop stability throughout the shoulder, because you have to balance and stabilize that kettlebell while you're walking. Now, you can do this with a dumbbell as well. There's nothing magical about a kettlebell. I just chose to do a kettlebell because we have access to kettlebells. But if you don't have kettlebells, use dumbbells instead. It's the same exercise. But the idea here is you're just going to be walking back and forth, doing laps, holding that kettlebell overhead, and it's going to strengthen the shoulder joint. It's going to build stability throughout your core, and it's a great exercise to finish off this workout. So it's really good to complement the heavy pressing that we did, the rear delt work that we did, and now this stability move for the shoulders. So again, we're getting all aspects of the shoulders trained here with this. And this is something that I like to do as a finishing move to a lot of my workouts. So I'll very often do this one at the end because the shoulders are a nagging area for a lot of people. Like I mentioned before, I mean, shoulder injuries are very, very common. So if you're doing exercises like this on a regular basis, you kind of help to bulletproof those shoulders and prevent future injury from happening. So just start off light, get used to doing the movement, and build the weight up gradually. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed putting it together for you. And you'll want to stay tuned for the second part of this series, where I'm going to take you through a dynamic effort squat workout that's going to help you to build explosive strength in the legs. But while you're waiting for that video, go and check out some of my other videos. I've got over 1,000 videos on this channel, so there's bound to be some there to keep you entertained while you're waiting for my next one. Have yourself a great day, and I will talk to you in my next video coming soon. Take care, over and out.